and be cool.
In the relish costume?
Doing the autopsy on the Browns' tenure for Baker. A few months ago, the Browns wanted an adult in the room. New article from Jason Lloyd said Baker was widely viewed as childish and immature, annoying teammates, and was difficult to coach. Nick, are you surprised by this new report?
Listen, I do think at times he was immature. I don't think the Browns should keep talking about it, and even if this is all old reporting, one of the reasons they are going to be so objectively screwed over the first minimum 8 to 10 games of the season is because they couldn't stop talking trash about Baker Mayfield while he was still there. If they had handled this better, Brew, then maybe they wouldn't be having to go with Jacoby Brissett for the first few months, if not the entirety of this season. So, no, I'm not sure. Listen, I think Baker was better his most recent year as far as maturity goes, but obviously that fiery personality, there are some drawbacks to it. But I just don't know why the Browns were so insistent on letting the world know how much they disliked their own quarterback while he was still their own quarterback. That's one of the reasons they had to end up eating $10 million of his salary and only got a 4th or a 5th round pick back for him.
No, I agree with you on that. You and I both felt like the Browns and Baker should have had, a brief reconciliation where Baker could have been their quarterback this season. But this report does make sense because it explains why they didn't bring him back. Remember, he threw out the olive branch. Well, it's going to have to take some reaching out. He threw it out there. They never reached out. And this is why. Now, rightly or wrongly, they clearly just feel like, no, this dude is so immature. And even though Jacoby Brissett is not as good as Baker, he apparently is more mature. But it looks bad coming from the Browns. I don't need to hear the Browns talk about the quarterback's character, off-field behavior, anything off the field. Don't talk about with your quarterback because Deshaun Watson obviously has his own issues. So when you're talking about Baker, whoever your quarterback is, keep it to on-the-field stuff because they don't look good right now with criticizing Baker's character, and then you brought in Deshaun Watson right now.
That's right.
See, Jason Lloyd of The Athletic, who wrote the article, handed out a lot of L's, not only to Baker, but also to the Browns coaching staff. So Stefanski didn't get away scot-free here. He said that Baker was criticizing Stefanski for the protection that led him to get sacked a bunch of times against the Steelers. Also criticized Stefanski when he missed a game against the meeting post-Patriots because Stefanski was dealing with Myles Garrett. But here's the thing that I think is under the radar, Nick. Can you tell me if you think this is going to be an issue in Carolina? Mayfield had a passer rating of 17.8 in the final 4 minutes of games last season when the Browns trailed by 1 possession or less. That's from Jason Lloyd's article. Do you think Baker in crunch time is a significant issue, or are you just blaming that on, hurt Baker?
Well, no, I think part of it's hurt. I think part of it is a minuscule sample of final 4 minutes of one-score games with the ball. We're probably talking about less than 50 passes, and I remember a few vividly of some terrible interceptions he threw, and that obviously will wreck the passer rating. But I do think that Baker, my biggest on-field criticism of Baker Mayfield is a simple one, Wilds. He needs to recognize he is no longer an elite athlete for his position. He was fine athletically, collegiately. In the pros, he is slow compared to the guys chasing him, and he abandons the pocket too early like he's Kyler. He's not the athlete Kyler is, and he too often tries to go make things happen with his legs. He can't do that.
Out there thinking like he's a Chris Broussard in high school. Jimmy G to the Bucks.
Right.
Had a brief moment in the sun. Till Rick Stroud had something to say about it. Tampa Bay Times reporter was quick to discredit stories, sharing that an anonymous Bucks coach said, quote, "If Garoppolo could throw a deep ball, he would have won 2 Super Bowls already." A quick correction, anonymous Bucks coach. Jimmy G does have two Super Bowl rings. And they're not just all because of Tom Brady. Broussard, these anonymous quotes that were factually wrong, fair or foul?
Oh, they're foul. They are so foul. And Wilds, we have found a photo of that anonymous coach. Check this out. There's a little surprise for the show. Check this out. I think we got it. Do we have that photo?
Really uncovering.
The one on the left, That's the anonymous. You see Todd Bowles and then the anonymous coach. And apparently this coach, Nick, has never seen the graphic. He's never seen the graphic. All right?
Everyone has.
This anonymous coach got some nerve. Never seen the graphic, and he's talking mess. But there it is. Here's the deal. How about saying if the San Francisco defense had been able to hold up a lead, they were up 20-10 with 9 minutes left. Now, I was glad. I was pulling for Kansas City. But they were up 20-10 with 9 minutes left in the game and couldn't stop the Chiefs. Okay, so how about that? Jimmy G shouldn't have been in position where he had to hit Emmanuel Sanders for that touchdown pass to win the Super Bowl. How about that? And Nick, I know you want to bash him, but in that season, 2019, guess who led the NFL in deep ball completion percentage? Care to guess?
No way.
Jimmy G! 61%. 2019, 61% of his deep balls completed. Number one in the league. Pat Mahomes was second with 51%. Now, it's gone down since then. But that year, he was accurate on the deep ball. So I'm just saying.
All right.
It's fine.
Listen, the Jimmy G conversations frustrate me. I don't know if you can tell. But now there's a silver lining of this. Wilds. There are a lot of old numbers, new numbers, advanced numbers, basic numbers bouncing around at all times, a lot rattling around in my brain. And I need to occasionally just eliminate some. And I now know, based on two things Broussard has said, that deep ball completion percentage is a stat I don't care about. If the 2019 leader in the NFL was Jimmy Garoppolo and the 2021 leader in the NFL was Tua Tagovailoa, then I'm going to go ahead and say that stat is garbage and throw it in the trash. Now, this whole idea of, oh yeah, if the defense would have held up, or if Jimmy G in that Super Bowl hadn't thrown an interception literally with his eyes closed, maybe they would have had more than a 10-point lead. If Jimmy G, after the Chiefs scored the first touchdown to come back and make it 20-17, didn't repeatedly have balls knocked down at the line of scrimmage because he was shocked Chris Jones was there, maybe they would have won there. But the fact of the matter is this. I'm gonna now counteract Brew's nonsense graphic with a very basic one. Anyone that screams and hollers Jimmy G's a winner because he wins 2 out of every 3 games he plays, I'm going to show you his playoff numbers, where he also has a 67 winning percentage. Show me the playoff numbers. That's his playoff career, guys. 74 passer rating, 4 touchdowns, 6 picks, 160 yards per game. But he's 4-2. Of course.